My name is Christine. I am the University Partnership Team Lead here at Sparta Global. And Beth, do you want to introduce yourself really quick?
Yeah, no problem. Hi guys, my name is Beth Nicholls. I'm the talent team lead here at Sparta Global. So basically responsible for the onboarding of candidates to join this business.
Cool, thanks. And so we're here today to discuss which role students should apply for, or which role graduates should apply for. So I think you and I have both seen that we have graduates coming through from so many different degrees and backgrounds, and we very oftentimes get questions around which role that individual should apply for. So what are you typically saying to these candidates, with these different backgrounds, when it comes to choosing which role they should be applying for?
It's a really good question. And as you mentioned, it's a question we get on a regular basis. And I think it's only natural. You've been through academia your whole life so far, and maybe you've had a sort of part-time job at a supermarket or a bar or something like that. But it's only natural to be a little bit confused as to what you want to do. And I just want to reassure you all that it's okay to feel like that. You're not expected to know what you want to do at this stage of your career. The advice we as a business tend to give to candidates is, what do you enjoy? What are you passionate about? When you reflect back to your degree and what you studied, what modules did you really thrive in? And what areas did you become really passionate about? And then let that help you determine what role and what career path and what environment you would work best in. I've met sort of thousands of candidates in my career at Sparta Global so far, and so many are unsure about what course they think is right for them, what role they think is right for them. And it's our responsibility to support you through that journey by looking at your background, looking at your degree. What are your hobbies? What are you interested in? What sort of environment do you enjoy working in? So, for example, do you enjoy working in a team environment? Do you consider yourself potentially as a team leader? And to work together to determine what course and what avenue could be the best suited for you.
Yeah, I think those are great points, and I think it's important that students know that they're not alone. I'd say the majority of students coming out from university have no idea what they want to do, and maybe they know some things they might be interested in. I, for one, had no idea when I graduated from university, and it is a chance to explore different options in different avenues. So yeah, I think that's great advice. And
yeah,
I guess once a student's kind of started within a role, how do you think that person will know if they're in the right role?
Good question. So it really depends, person to person. Some people will start something and realize within the matter of weeks or months that it's not something that they enjoy. Whereas some people could start a position and they're there for a couple of years and then realize that actually I want something new. I think it's really important to give yourself a chance and to give the organisation and the position a chance by spending some time with that company, learning everything you can about that role, about that organisation, before you make any drastic decisions. And I think it's also important to know that this is your first role. You have a career in front of you for many years to come. What you do now will not be what you're doing in 20 years' time. So gain transferable skills, learn different areas of the business, and especially within IT, there's so much to learn in the IT life cycle, and find out what you enjoy, find out what you don't enjoy, so then that can help you when you apply for different jobs in the future.
Yeah, I think that's great, there's something that you can learn from every opportunity, even if it's not what you want to be doing kind of long term. I think look at what sort of experience and skill sets that you can take away from that opportunity. So yeah, I guess with that is, what are your thoughts on kind of length of time that someone should kind of stay within a role before moving on? Is there kind of a rule of thumb with how long a graduate should stay within a position before looking for that next kind of jump?
I think it's a great question again. And I think from coming from a sort of sales recruitment background for almost 7 years now, I know when I'm speaking to clients and organizations that they would prefer someone to have been at an organization for a while than have a profile where they've moved here, there, and everywhere.
Hmm.
But I think it's important that the individual feels comfortable where they're working as well. As I mentioned, I think it's important to give something a chance. Hence the reason why most graduate schemes you see out there are 2-year contracts, are 2-year graduate schemes, because that company feels confident that during that time you will be able to apply yourself in the way they need you to, and to
Hmm.
really learn from that opportunity. Um, it also looks better as employer. Let's say, for example, I'm a hiring manager and I'm looking for someone long term who can really support the business. And I have a CV in front of me with someone who's been here for 3 months, here for 6 months, here for 2 months, and then someone who's been at a business for 3 years, who's provided all the different projects I've worked on. My preference would be candidate B. However, if you become contractor, let's say, in the future, then naturally you are going to have a profile that shows you
Yeah.
working on different projects. Um, but also, it's really down to you as an individual. Again, happiness is absolutely key. I always say to people that you spend more time at work than you do with anyone else in life, than you do with family, friends. So it's really important that you enjoy the people you work with, that you feel challenged, that this is the opportunity as your first job to learn, to meet new people, to learn from the people around you. Um, and also that you share the same values as that organization, that you really believe in what they're trying to achieve as a company.
Mhm.
So I would say the longer the better, really.
Yeah, I think there are times too when it's just not working out with the company, and I think as an individual, just being prepared to kind of disclose the reasons for maybe leaving an opportunity, within a year, or sometimes even less than that. I think as someone within talent, we understand that things happen, that roles are oftentimes not the right fit. So I think it's just kind of having the talking points around why you've left roles is important as well. So
Yeah. And we tend to do that in interviews as well. If we've got a profile where someone potentially has had a few roles,
mhm.
okay, let's talk about it. What happened? Why did you decide to leave? What did you enjoy, etc. So I think you have to deal with it on a case by case basis.
Yeah. And so you are in charge of running a lot of the assessment days at Sparta Global, and I guess what would you kind of give in terms of advice for how a graduate or a candidate could best start their career?
Okay. I think you have to stand out from the crowd by doing things outside of the box. So, for example, on average, around 250,000 graduates are finishing university each year, and they're all applying for jobs, and that's why it can be extremely competitive,
Hmm.
because you could apply for a role, but so are hundreds of other people applying for that same job. My main advice would be self-development. Never stop learning. When you finish university and when you're applying for work, have a look into the job specifications. Look into what that company is looking for. Look at common requirements from companies for the types of roles you're looking for, and then allow that to be an opportunity for you to go and learn in your spare time, because from an employer's point of view, that's what makes you look really attractive in your personal profile. And I think it's important to start your career by just having a head like a sponge and be willing to learn and absorb information. The great advantage that you have as a junior candidate starting your career in whatever industry is that you're coming in fresh, and you're coming in to learn and to apply the skills you've learned at university into this new position. So learn from the people around you that have got 5, 10, 15, 20 years worth of experience. It's important to be proactive. That's why I mentioned self-development, but also speak to people, get on LinkedIn, connect with people in the industry that you're passionate about getting into, speak to friends, speak to your family, go on sites online where you can research, you can Google, you can watch YouTube tutorials. We are so lucky in this generation to have so much access to tech and to data. We need to utilize it. So I think that's how you can best start your career, by being proactive, self-development, and getting yourself out there.
Yeah, and I like, being proactive. I think, working within kind of the university space for over 6 years now, I talk with a lot of graduates who are afraid to ask questions, afraid to admit that they need a bit of help. And I think that's something that is so important, to have that confidence to go up to somebody, introduce yourself. I think you want to be a presence. You want to build up your network as quickly as possible, because you never know when that network is going to come back to help you, whether it's, for promotions, looking for a new role, even just getting help on projects that you're working on within your employer. I think kind of, yeah, being proactive, getting out there is so important, and will really help in the long run. And I think from my end, would just encourage those recent graduates to have confidence, and know that employers understand that they're new to industry work, and yeah, not being afraid to kind of be out there, and be visible within those organizations.
And also it's tough, as I mentioned at the beginning, that there's a lot of competition. And what some of you may notice when you start applying for work is that you'll see a job spec, it'll be an entry-level role, a graduate role, and it will say 2 years experience required or 12 months experience required. And it's like, well, how am I going to get the experience if this company's not willing to give me the experience? And that's why I think if you can go and learn and self-develop, then that will increase your chances even more of being noticed. And also it comes across so well to an employer. If you're learning new skills in your spare time, it shows what sort of character you are and the sort of attitude you have to yourself of wanting to improve. So yeah, that would be my sort of main advice.
Yeah, great. And I guess, do you have any kind of final advice for, a student or a graduate who is looking to apply for roles, and looking to choose their career? Any kind of last advice that you'll leave everyone with?
Absolutely. So I think it's important at this stage to not pigeonhole yourself down one career path, to understand that there is a big world out there full of opportunities. And there's organisations like us who are degree and grade flexible, who do not require any commercial experience. Part of the fun at this stage is exploring, it is finding out what environment you thrive in, what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, and making sure you join a company for the right reasons, because you share the same values. It's important to find a role where you're happy. So my advice would be learn, self-develop. Whenever you've got an hour a day, or even if it's an hour a week, just show a company that you can do self-develop and work on projects. Be engaging, be friendly, be proactive, proactive. Don't expect clients to knock on your doorstep, because trust me, it's not going to happen. You need to put yourself out there. You need to be applying for roles, but then following up with that application. If you don't hear back from that employer, call them. Okay, call their HR team, call their internal recruitment team to find out the status of your application, because that again will show that you're being proactive, that you're doing everything you can to find yourself a position.
Yeah, great. And I guess with that, Beth, if somebody is interested in hearing more about our opportunities, or wants to learn how to apply, how would a graduate go about applying for any of our roles?
Absolutely. So we have all of our jobs posted online on our website. You can go directly onto our careers page. Please follow us on LinkedIn and our social media platforms. We are hiring at the moment, so I'm more than happy to have a conversation with yourself or some of my fantastic team here at Sparta. So apply, get in contact. You can call us directly, or you can send us an email, talent@spartaglobal.com, and we'll be more than happy to speak to you.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, Beth, so much for your time today. It's been lovely catching up with you.
No worries. Thank you so much for your time as well, guys, and good luck with your search, everyone.